Welcome to the HTC, December 16, 4 o'clock. Be careful not to share your screen. Do I hear a motion to,
Madam
Yeah.
Chair, do you want to just list who's here and who's online?
okay,
Members
tonight we
present.
have Connie Patton, Val Oliver, and myself at the board right here. And we have Angus McLeod, Joe Paul, and Carrie Thornwell, although I don't see her up there. There she is.
Yeah.
Okay, on Zoom. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay, all in favor, we'll take a roll call. Val, on your motion,
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Angus,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
and myself, aye.
Is that then too many?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, somebody-
Nothing's gonna happen.
Okay, now, commission discussion, change. of-
Madam Chair, would you like me to go over that real quickly?
Sure.
You might have the older agenda. It was amended and we moved the consent discussion and the incomplete discussion down to the bottom on the last page under future discussion topics, but Stephen wanted me to just mention that old business will be going between 4 and around 7 PM. So he just wanted to put that on the agenda just for, not to discuss, but at a later date, we'll discuss it.
Okay,
So it says 4 to 7, but he means around 7, effective like the middle of January.
all right. Okay, what about consents? Do I hear a motion?
Oh, sorry.
See,
Yeah, I think
you've got-
he wanted to discuss something about consents and
So
incomplete
you
applications.
all don't have the amended agenda. So under the first, a header, the bullet point consents and incomplete applications have been moved to the last page on the
Mhm.
agenda under future discussion topics.
Do we have to
Okay.
make a motion on that, or do we just do it? No, okay.
Okay.
No, it's already been amended. You just don't have a copy of it.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go right to consents then. Looks like value can't be
I have
on
to
them.
sit off.
Yeah, but then it looks
I have to
like,
sit off.
Carrie, is that you?
Carrie.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, that's
Thank
okay. Do I hear a motion on the consents?
I'll make-
Thank you, Connie. On the consents, Connie,
Aye.
Joe Paul,
Aye.
Angus?
Aye.
And myself, I'm an aye. All right. Consents with conditions.
Motion to approve consent with conditions.
I think you're,
I'm not on it. I just reviewed them.
okay. All right, thank you, Val.
Yeah.
On Val's motion, Connie,
Aye.
Val on your motion,
Aye.
Joe
Aye.
and how many is that? Angus
Aye.
and myself is an aye.
Madam Chair, before you move into Commissioner Q&A with Preservation Planner, you have a hand raised on Michael Sarin. Did you want him to speak?
Sure.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay, can you cut him
Yeah,
off?
I'm doing it right now.
Thank you.
That guy again, different.
And
You
Val,
really
you,
need to get a life instead of bombing the HDC meeting.
I think we're going, did you want to hold yours?
I am definitely holding.
We're going to hold it until Ray and Stephen arrive though. So we're just going to hold it until,
Everybody's gonna hold on the whole agenda probably.
well, let's see. So, do we need a motion to do that, or can we just?
I
No.
didn't hear what you were saying.
Because I have two people who aren't here.
No, you can just, we can just come back to it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's not vote on that. Let's go right to 6 Fargo Way. Hello.
Good evening, Bo Barber. Barber and Son, 7 Kelly Road.
Okay, hold on one sec. I just want to. I can't get anything to come up.
Bear with us, Bo.
Actually, I kind of know this one by heart, so I'm just gonna. So in the meantime, we've got Val, Angus, Connie, and Joe Paul, and myself.
Cool.
I guess-
You can start.
Okay, great, thank you. Donaldo Bergeron is in the meeting. If you could pull him into the meeting, that would be great.
Sorry, honey. Who was it?
Donaldo Bergeron should be. in the meeting.
You bring him across? Yeah.
Hello.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. So we have a list of changes that we made from the previous meeting. The ridge height was adjusted from 28 feet to 26 feet, 10 inches. The rake on the main mast maintains a pitch of 7.5 inches as previously specified. The dormer located on the east elevation has been simplified and redesigned to achieve greater symmetry, following your direction for more balanced appearance.
Can't get it to come up.
Second egress now exits via the second floor deck. This adjustment has resulted in a design that is aesthetically cleaner and more streamlined. The columns throughout the design have been updated to feature a round profile as requested by the owner.
What did you say? A round? Oh,
Yeah, sorry, it's rounded. Previously, the design incorporated a square column.
Hold one sec, sorry, this is a technical.
Yep.
When I am trying to look at this, it keeps saying I'm preparing the document for printing. And when I download it, it won't open.
I was having a similar problem. As soon as I get to page 18, it crashes. And so I haven't been able to really review this. I do know that it's visible.
Sorry, Bo.
It's all right. Is the file corrupted?
corrupted?
Well, it could be corrupted. We could just send it again if that's the problem.
I know.
Okay, great.
So Angus, can you, because you can't see the screen,
I can see the screen that's there. I just haven't been able to pull it up on my own computer.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I ended up downloading it as a PDF and just viewing it that way because the town program was crashing.
I tried that and I can't open it.
So maybe when we discuss the changes, we can look at the before and the after and go through each elevation like that.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let's just go with east elevation. East elevation is facing the street. There we go. Sorry, keep going back. We can do. One second.
Yes, this is east.
Yep. East facing the street. There you go. Okay, that's the new design. We simplified the dormer, made it more central, although it is a little offset. We had a entrance basically where that second floor egress is. We moved that egress to the second floor deck instead of into the side of the dormer, which looked a little wasn't pleasant. Anyway, centralized the door or made the door central to the dormer, and then kept the windows. We changed the header height in this elevation to be consistent throughout the dwelling. Any questions on this?
Go ahead, Val.
I am trying to pull up what was to see. what's
Yep. So we
changed.
clouded that in red, which should be,
It's just hard to tell without it to refer to.
yeah, A6. Yep.
And the,
Whoever's scrolling, could you scroll up just a little bit? Are we looking, both of these are the east elevation? I can see the top one is, but I don't know what the bottom one is.
Yeah, so the east elevation is that one and that one on the top, both of those.
both of those.
Yep.
The one below looked like it said north. Okay.
So these are both facing the street?
No, no, no. So
No.
the one on the bottom there is facing the street on the bottom of the screen on the,
Okay. So the garage faces sort of
yeah, it faces
in-
the main structure, which is,
into the driveway circle?
yes.
Okay.
yep.
Can we please see the two east elevations at the same time?
They're on
I
separate-
believe they're set up on the next page. You have to go back and forth, actually.
That's a pain.
Who's Donald Bergenson? Is Donaldo?
Yeah,
your-
Donaldo, if. would you
Yes, I'm here.
Yep.
Okay,
like- Okay. Yeah,
okay,
keep
that's okay. We were just wondering who you were. Is anybody ready to talk about this?
I could go, Abby. This is Joe speaking.
Yeah, Joe, give it a go.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that this came down a little bit in height. I still think that there are some plate height adjustments that need to happen that would be helpful. I think that I know you've got an 8-foot ceiling up here on the second floor, but I think the plate height itself could come down a little bit so that the fascia board sits on the window headers. It feels a little bit tall overall, and I guess you're going to have an oblique visibility on the north elevation. That pent roof is really elevated above the garage doors. That feels like it needs to come down a couple feet, or those garage doors need to increase in height a little bit. It might be a combination of those two things. I think overall, I think this is a more appropriate proposal than the previous one. I mean, the existing house is very vertical and doesn't have really any single story masses. So I think this is eclectic, but the existing structure is eclectic and really dominates that site. And this does have some single story masses, which I think helps to ground it. And those are my comments. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Connie or Carrie or Val
I'll go.
or Angus?
If I remember correctly, this went through before because of its a lack of visibility due to the fact it's at the end of this way out of the boondocks, dead end road. To Joe's point about the pent roof, how about increasing the roof pitch? That could make it break up some of that verticality as well.
Increasing the roof pitch of the,
Of the pent
So-
roof over the doors, if it became a much steeper pitch, it could visually
Oh.
look like it's taking up more of that space in between.
okay. Is that it? Val?
And then my only other question is, they want the columns to be round, but that doesn't relate to the house really. But
So-
again, given where it is, does it matter?
We-
That's-
We have an
Okay, let's,
existing.
we're
app-
just gonna hear the,
Okay, no
the
problem.
board, and then we can
All right.
talk right after.
That's it.
Thanks, Val. Connie?
So we submitted this approximately a month ago. And keep trying to keep with the changes that you had specified. We weren't happy with it, and neither was the customer. So so this specifically, we changed the stair configuration to get for the second egress. And then shuffled the dormer around so that it was more pleasing and more in line with, or it's, Nantucket architecture. But the egress is the major change there with the dormer. We lowered the ridge height, like I said, to 2610. I would prefer an 8 pitch or a 9 pitch, but you guys had set the constraint to a lower overall ridge height. But it's a 4 pitch dormer with a 7.5 pitch main mass. And I agree with the plate height problem, although we're somewhat constrained with the interior heights. I'll check the headers, or I'll check the interior elevations to make sure that that's going to be okay.
Thank you, Connie. Angus?
Thank you. So whoever's controlling the picture, is that Sarah tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, could you please go to the site plan? And then I'm going to ask you to go to the elevations. Thank you.
Page 22. it looks like.
Can you see that, Angus?
Thank you. So I'm not seeing what's on the outside of the land there, but the driveway opens onto Fargo, right? And so the bottom right corner in this plan here is kind of where Fargo starts heading towards Willwinnet Road. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so the garage doors are facing the house, and that is the house north of this garage?
Yeah, so the main house is north of the garage, yes.
Okay, so the garage doors are on the north side, and then the part that really faces Fargo would be on the east. Okay, could you please go to the east elevation? The east and south.
This one or the next, the original?
That's the before?
No.
That's the after.
That's the before.
Okay. And then the south is below it? No, that's the north below it.
North.
So could I please see the south again? That's the current proposed south?
No, this is the original proposed.
Okay.
Original south. This That is the proposed.
No. I'm sorry. That is that is our revision. That was our prior submittal, and the new submittal is the previous one. So those are the things we were changing from our previous submittal.
This is the recent one.
No. This is
I
the,
think we need to hold on this then, because this is so confusing.
I feel like just
Okay.
because of
Okay.
technical difficulties and the plans not being arranged in such a way that we can really compare things, the newest set of plans should have bubbles of the changes from the previous set rather than looking at bubbles on the last set. And also the whatever was how this was downloaded, there's too much information in it and it keeps crashing. So it needs to be another way of loading it. But I would make a motion to hold this until we have more information. The best way to do this is to have a thumbnail of the previous in the same picture with the current proposal. That way we can really look to see what's the difference, if that's okay with you guys.
Well, can I ask a question
Sure.
before we vote on the motion?
Mm.
I think it's imperative, if you have not viewed, you need to view to see where this is, because I think that's going to play a big role in how it will be perceived.
Thank you, Val. So do you understand what Angus is asking for, to see a side by side and bubble what you are changing to then just have the
okay.
recent
So the
drawing?
bubbled
Yes.
ones are not the most recent ones.
Okay. So
Okay.
there's a bit of confusion because
Yeah,
we had the original submittal, which is back a month and a half now. Then we submitted again. And what we're under the assumption that you guys had already viewed the
Mhm.
application. Then we changed it because the customer changed the scope of the job. So what you're looking at now with no bubbles is the current submittal. So that is the current application right there.
it's just backwards from how we're used to seeing things, so that's why everybody's confused.
So-
Understood.
And what is what is the top one? What is that face?
That's south elevation.
That's south. So that's the one that faces towards the neighbor. And then the bottom one is
The west elevation.
west, that no one will see.
Yep.
All right, so we have a motion on the table to hold for revisions. I'm sorry about that. So a couple of times this came up and nobody showed up to represent it too. So that's been a problem continuously. So there's been a lot of, I don't want to put the responsibility on you or us, but there seems to be a lot of back and forth.
Right.
So I think it's only fair that we do hold it for so we know what we're voting on.
Understood. We alerted the Plus department that we were in revisions with a customer for the last round. And that's what we're changing here.
Okay, so Angus, do you still want to keep that motion?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's take a vote on that. On Angus's motion, Connie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So, thank you. Spring. Ethan.
Hi.
Just give us a sec to load up this because we're having technical difficulty.
Yeah, I can't even get the website to come up for the town.
Oh, boy.
And Madam Chair.
Yep.
Ray missed the boat and his next boat was canceled, so he won't be at the meeting.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
William Massey, okay, is he a legitimate person?
William Massey, go ahead and talk.
Yes, good afternoon.
Are you for?
Yeah, he's
He is, okay.
Bill is the architect for the project. I wasn't here for the last time because I was out of the country.
Okay.
So he went. So I wasn't here for the first meeting, but Bill was. So unlike the last project, we didn't think of the technical problems. You have the original proposal or original submission next to the proposed, but I think this one should be pretty easy because of what it is. So I'll let Bill take over.
Oh, okay, all right. Could I just ask, Kathy, do you know how many times we've heard this one?
Once.
Just once,
Once.
because I just had a question on that.
Are you
Thanks,
sure?
Ethan.
Twice, right?
Uh,
No?
No, I've only submitted it twice.
Okay.
Once, I mean, this and the previous. Yeah.
Okay, William, did you want to introduce us to this project?
Sure. So this was presented back in October, and I took down notes about the comments and then got the minutes from the meeting and basically went through those with the client and made some adjustments. And then when Ethan was back on island, followed up with him. And basically what we wanted to be able to do is kind of show that the comments from the commission were really kind of taken to heart, and that the write-up that is dated November 18th, 2025 kind of lists by elevation the things that we changed and modified based on the input from the commission. Some of the main things that we did on the east elevation, which is the street facade, is we really looked at changing the windows to double hungs instead of casements. At this point, just the smaller windows, because of the proportion, were kept as casements instead of having the extra lock rail in the center. The proportion seemed kind of odd there. We also looked at organizing the windows so that they're aligned and much more typical kind of to the Nantucket style. We then also, one of the comments was the idea of trying to enhance the door. And so we came back with a shed portico for that door. So now it really has a sense of entry to it. For the sunroom, the comment was that there's just too much trim. So we really looked at going back and stripping away the trim and the pilasters so that it really now is just a simple shingle addition with the white cornerboard trim. For the
Bill, can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
Could you scroll to the drawing? So this is the street view. What you see standing in the road. This is what you see for the house. So
From
just-
one direction.
This is the east elevation. I mean, literally, the road is right here. The rest of the
But
house,
their driveways from Chase Lane.
it is, but there's a garage in this road. I mean, that's what you see. You're standing in the road, looking at that view. So if you scroll down to that bottom, yep, that one there. Yeah, yeah. So, and that is, there you go. And I think we did both. No, that's the original house.
That's the upper elevation. So scale it down. And just scale it down a little bit more so you'll be able to see both elevations.
So as you can see, the top one's the existing condition, the bottom one is the revisions that
Right.
he's talking about. And I did bubble the changes that he's talking about.
Put the X up there, Sarah, and it will open the.
Okay, are there any general questions about the project here? I have one. Can Can we scroll down to where the gable is coming out of the main mast? Yeah, could we go down one more elevation? This elevation. So the original is the one with the fan window
Correct.
Yeah.
and okay, all right. That was my only question. I just want to hear from the board now. Anybody ready to start?
I will.
Okay, go ahead,
I'm
Val.
mad at myself because I made notes and I forgot them at home. A lot of this is appreciated, getting rid of the extra railing on the first floor, simplifies it. Putting the roof on the back, over that back door takes up some of that wall space. Fixing the sunroom the way you did is great. My biggest concern, having been out there today in both directions, is yes, there are houses that have white trim, but they are very simple trim. And this still has the double columns in the front and the chunkier bases, and I'm assuming those are all going to be painted white. That is my only misgiving. It just seems rather heavy in light of everything that's out there. Is there if it's a different color other than white, it could possibly tone it down, a gray or something, but other than that, that is my main concern. There are large houses out there. Yes, the trim is white, but it's simple.
Thank you, Val. Who else do we have here?
Did you want Bill to go through all the other changes or just?
Sure.
Bill, tell him the other changes.
Well, as the commissioner that just started commenting, noted, we really looked at being able to get rid of the railing that was on the first floor porch. Then on the second floor, what we did was we basically took out all the intermediate newels. So again, everything we were doing was really looking to try to simplify and take away things that would be trim, because the client really wants that Nantucket look of the white trim. And so we really looked at taking away those elements on the back side of the house, which to us, we think of as the front side, but it's the back side relative to the street. We really were looking at being able to keep the columns because of the proportion, and the profile is the existing column profile that's there. So we're not really looking at introducing something new in that regard. And I think that was really kind of took all of the comments really into account. Really just wanted to be able to simplify and pare down, and contrary to what the one commissioner said, the proportion with the double columns, while maybe being a little more formal, it's really for the family side as opposed to the street side. And we would ask for your approval of that design. Thank you.
Thank you, William. Let's go back to the board. Connie, are you ready?
Yeah, I agree. I took a look and I appreciate the changes. But I would be more in favor if the trim was maybe even a cobblestone gray or some other color other than the white. I think the white is just too dark in comparison to the amount of trim on the house. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Angus?
Sure. So I agree with the comments that have been made so far about the paint. One of the character defining elements of this house is even though there's white sash, the trim is red and the storms are a dark brown or something dark. So this really, just the general boxiness, the shape of it and the muted colors help for this to sit in its environment. And it's visible from the road, but it's like it's on a corner, and so it's visible from a number of directions. I think that it'd be a lot easier to swallow the details that are presented if the color remained or some darker option. And then my only issue with the architecture, I appreciate actually the removal of the fanlight window and the palladium window. I think that's helpful, but the loss of that main additive massing, that long shed that was on the right side in the uh, west elevation, so I guess it's on the south. Um, to have a sort of a freestanding flat roof with a deck on it, especially in a very visible spot like this, isn't appropriate. So I would be looking for that to have some sort of roof or something to make it attach better without looking like a flat roofed room with a deck on top. Other than that, pretty much good with the architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Angus. Joe?
Um, I had concerns about the color. However, I do think the applicant makes a good point regarding the most calm side of this structure is the one that faces the road. And I agree with Angus that the flat roof element is unusual, and I'm wondering if maybe some portion of a shed roof exists on the street side, or maybe that section of deck that's over that single story mass takes on the feeling of an integrated deck. And I think you're going to see it from the south as well. So I think an adjustment to that would certainly calm things down, because the white railings is what gets really busy. So if it was a lighter gray with white sash, I would have no concerns. I hadn't thought too much about the flat roof structure until Angus mentioned it, and going back and looking at the existing, I think he's right that it definitely grounds the structure visually, that portion of the shed roof. Those are my comments. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. I agree with a lot of what's been said. I think this is a huge departure from a very simple barn type building. And I think that moving to a 2/2 also is changing the character of this house, where it did have a barn-like appearance, but which goes, I think it just looked like the style was more of a 6/6. So I'm not sure about the 2/2s. All that detailing, and as Val pointed out, the double columns, all of that, if that is white, and the flat roof decks and the balustrades are all going to be white, that's going to be, it's really going to draw your eye to anything that is painted white. So I would seriously consider one of the grays, if with this amount of detail, or simplify this even more. So we've heard from the board. Do I hear a motion?
Could we change it to gray and get an approval?
I was just gonna say, if it was changed to a more subtle color, I have no problem, given where it is to the end of the line. It's just the white.
Yeah, I agree with the white.
we have some other architectural details that people have
Yeah, but the
concerns
gray will
about.
make it disappear.
What's that?
The gray will make it disappear.
Yes, this will certainly help. Well, Val, did you want to try that motion?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So we're going to try that motion. And Nantucket gray, or what? What is your?
Sure.
Okay.
Motion to approve with the color changing to Nantucket gray.
Okay, on Val's motion, Connie,
I,
Joe,
Aye.
Angus,
Aye.
and I'm a no, but it passes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
the next 5 are going to hold till the January meeting without Ray and Stephen
Okay.
here, we'd like to hold.
Okay, thank you, Val. So we'll jump to 30 Beach Street, North Beach.
Madam Chair, you have
Okay.
15 Cliff before you get to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Doug Mills is online. Hang on 1 second. Let me.
I thought we were holding.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Doug, did you want to screen share?
Sure.
No, the
Okay, I'm going to
Cliffs.
promote you to panelist, so hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Then you can screen share that way.
So who's presenting? Oh,
Doug Mills is presenting. Stephen showed up, yeah.
If you want to stop sharing, then I will start sharing.
hold on 1 second. We're just figuring
Okay.
something out for a sec.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
Are we doing 15 Cliff?
Yes.
Oh, the driveway.
Leave some of the furniture. So is that Mirka that's doing 15? Who's doing 15 Cliff? Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hello, Doug.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So are we ready?
Hold on 1 sec. There are a couple of moving parts here.
Okay.
So for starters, you have for a board, Doug, you've got myself, Angus, Joe Paul, and Connie.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Doug.
Okay. Okay. So this is a driveway that we had previously proposed as all Belgian block. And that seemed too formal for the board. So we have gone back to a brick sidewalk and apron. And we went back to the crushed shell driveway. And now we just have a perimeter of Belgian block. And then 2 stripes or strips of Belgian block at the garage. So we hope you find that appropriate.
Okay, all right, let's hear from the board then. Anybody ready to?
I'm ready. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Angus.
Oh, no, go
No,
ahead.
that was, okay,
Well, I was just going to say that I appreciate the revisions and that I'm okay with it. Thank you. I think it's
Thank you.
appropriate.
thank you, Joe. Angus, were you?
I appreciate the move to do shell in the driveway and to have the brick apron. I noticed that Holly had similar comments to what I was going to say about the granite curbs at the sidewalk coming off the street. Those curved curbs would look to have reused, but also. I would get rid of the granite, Belgian block border. Holly was mentioning that the strips, just as the Belgian block wasn't really used on this stretch of Cliff Road, that those were an issue. For me, it's more the border. I feel like those are going to be sort of deep in the driveway and they'll sort of blend in with the shell. So that's not as much of an issue for me. But I appreciate the brick at the apron and the shell for most of the driveway.
Thanks, Angus. Can I just clarify that? So after the Belgian block apron, that's when the Belgian block perimeter starts, right after the apron?
So
Is
the apron is brick. And the Belgian block starts at the property line.
Right after the brick. Okay.
Correct.
All right, and then that's
But just
filled
the
with-
perimeter.
Okay, and that's filled with the crushed shell. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Okay, let's see. Joe went, Angus went. Connie,
Is it
can you
just
go?
me, I think, yeah. So I do appreciate the changes and I think this is appropriate. Thank
Oh,
you.
great.
I'm not on it.
Just you, Abby.
Just me. Oh, okay. I'm okay with this. I think it's appropriate. So, does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Thank you, Connie. On Connie's motion, Angus,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Okay, it passes. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Madam Chair, because we're moving pretty fast because 115 Cliff held, Matt wants to wait until Stephen gets here for 30 North Beach Street. And I don't, let me see if there's anybody in the queue.
Madam Chair, I was just hoping
Tor-
to have the same board, and if he's coming, I just thought it'd be okay. Is it okay to
Sure.
wait for him to show up?
Yeah, we can wait until they come.
Um,
Ray is not coming though, right?
Ray's not coming.
But
no.
Stephen's coming.
Yeah, Ray's not actually sitting on it, so.
Oh, good. I mean, not good, just easier. Okay. What
So-
about,
So, I didn't know, did Val want to go back to 20 Mass Ave with the, or did you want to wait for Stephen?
no, I think,
No, we're gonna hold till January.
Even 20 Mass Ave? you're
Yeah.
gonna hold? Okay.
What about
Um,
30 North Beach, or is that?
But that was Matt.
That was Matt.
And the hardscape is tracking, but Tori is online for
Okay.
8 Mass Ave and 32 Hulbert. But I don't think she realizes that Stephen isn't here, so we'll have to tell her that. Let me just unmute
Yeah, we'll
her.
tell her when, yeah, bring her on.
Yeah. Tori, I'm asking you to unmute.
Sorry, I'm walking in right now.
Oh, you are?
Oh.
Okay, we'll see you in a
Yeah.
second.
Okay, bye.
Take your time. So don't think we're gonna, let's just wait for Tori instead of going on to.
Steve and Ray aren't here.
Got it. I feel good about 8 Mass Ave, but 30. oh. So 8 Mass Ave, I feel good about. It's like our, probably our final revision, and we kind of have covered everything you've asked.
That's my name, but I don't remember being on.
Joe, I think you might have been on the first one. I think we've been heard 3 times.
No, you're not on 8 Mass Ave at all?
Yeah, I had Val on here.
I don't remember it. Yeah.
Okay, let's do 8 Mass Ave.
Okay.
When you get ready.
I'm ready.
Take your time.
I'm ready. Okay, so you want me to start?
Let's just bring it up on the screen.
Sure, no
because,
problem.
It's a little.
And then I guess,
easier.
should I make note of who our board is?
Sure. We've got,
It's a skeleton crew.
I know.
we've
So we had,
got myself,
yep,
Angus,
yep.
Joe, Connie, and Carrie.
CP and Carrie them, okay. Okay, so the last time we were before you, I believe it was Joe and might have been somebody else, maybe Angus, that thought the prior roof line was working better for the project. So we've gone back to that prior roof line as originally proposed. I've tried to, if you go to the one of these plans has red bubbles on it. Oh, is that where they are? It's hard to see. And there are a larger scale plan as well, if that's easier to zoom in on. So we've gone back to that roof line. We also adjusted the 2 garage doors. The suggestion was to differentiate the two, maybe add some glass to the smaller one to the left and bring the taller one into more of a congruent look to the main house garage doors that also have that arched curve that I believe Angus was asking for. We've updated the door and window schedule. There are some photos there for your review. And in keeping with the first request, the first round, we've kept the crossbuck small little porch in front of the door, 9-light door to the right. That's the original house or main house across the street. And there's the arch on the garage door at the main house. You can see behind the car barely. And we've kept the shutters to match the main house as well. And with that, I look forward to your comments.
Thank you, Tori. Just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing here. Okay, board members.
I'm happy to start.
Oh, great. Angus, thank you.
Tori, I really appreciate the going back to the original roof lines. I think that it just works better in that area and with the other structures. The curve of the doors is much appreciated. It seems like that's really working, but the pent roof looks weird with the curve. So would I'd honestly be happy with this as presented without the pent roof and natural trim. That just because of the amount of fenestration and the amount of natural trim structures out there. Other than that, I'm good. Thanks.
Thank you, Angus. Val, are you on this one?
No.
No. Connie?
Yeah, I do appreciate the changes. I could. take or
Sorry,
leave
could I
the-
don't mean to interrupt. That's not the current drawings. If we want to go to the current drawings, that's the old, the prior.
It's not what's online either.
We included the prior submission. That's what this is. So I think if you scroll up, it should be page, I assume 4 or
8,
5.
I think.
There's some sky.
I just wanted to make sure you guys were looking at the right one.
Hiccups.
Can you go up to page 5 maybe, or 6?
I think it's 8.
8, thanks, Angus. There we go. Thank you so much. Perfect. Sorry, Connie.
That's okay. No, that's fine. And I have to agree about that little pent roof that's visible on that west elevation. If that could somehow disappear, I think this is appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Joe?
Yeah, I agree with the pent roof comment. And I'm going to say this reluctantly because I might be in the minority. I like the curve. I think the curve's appropriate if it starts to mimic the form of the openings that are on the house, those open areas, which is a little bit more of an ellipse. It's not like quite what you had last time where the corners of the door were just rounded, and it's not a complete arch. But I don't know that they need to match each other exactly. So that was the only thing that jumped out relative to the curve. And then the other thought I wanted to get fellow board members' feedback on is whether or not the doors, these taller arch doors, should they be the ones with the glass, and the secondary door, I'm curious how these are going to be articulated, because right now they just, all the doors on the garage, all the garage doors just show up as white slabs. So I don't know if is there a frame? Are there vertical boards? Are they horizontal boards? I think the detail of those doors is important to nail down, but I think all the massing is working other than the pent roof. I like the shutters on here, so if you had natural trim, I'm assuming that the shutters would be the white that matches the house, and so would the sash. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Let's see, we got Joe.
I'm an alternate, or I'm
Oh,
I'm
Carrie.
called.
Here.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the changes you made too, Tori, and I agree with Joe in that we should just at least know what the doors are. But I do think the glass in the smaller doors is fine, and glass in the bigger doors might be a little too fanciful for such a simple building. And I agree with the pent roof going away. Other than that, I think it looks good.
Okay, great. So I agree with Carrie on that. I think the windows in those arched doors, it's going to be over the top, not very Nantucket. I was just wondering what so in those doors are white.
So if I may, through you, Mrs. Chair, most, believe it or not, I lived out here for a couple of years. Most of every single building on that road is white trim, both sides. We're happy to entertain natural weather trim, and I can do, an approval with that or through staff with that if that's where we end up.
Okay.
I would say to answer the design of the doors, we were going to match the main house, which I believe is vertical board cedar with the white trim. If we want to go to the pictures maybe and confirm that, it's hard to see with the
No, that's
car parked
yeah.
in front. Yeah. I can get a closer up picture too as part of the exhibit A or approval through staff as well to confirm.
Okay.
But we would match. No, they're definitely cedar, natural weather, the doors.
All right, Tori, what color are the shutters?
So we were going to match the main house, which, as I believe Joe pointed out, I believe they're white again, if we want to go to the
White,
photos.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so my thoughts are no pent roof.
Okay.
I think that just complicates the line of that
Yeah, we're
arch.
totally fine with that.
I think one set of doors should be natural to weather, and I'm assuming that they might be the ones to the left with the window. And that's all I have. So I think we could form a.
I'm happy to make a motion.
Okay, give it a go, Angus.
So approve as submitted with a natural trim. I'm sorry, white trim, because it sounds like I'm in the minority about that. But the doors, like the ones across the street, are vertical board that are natural to weather, except for the 9 light, which I think there needs to be a panel underneath it. And maybe that could be an exhibit A. And that door could be white. Shutters would be white. And yeah, the pent roof would be gone.
Sorry, could you, what color are the doors again? Sorry.
Natural weather vertical board.
Both of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. And the trim around those doors is white though, right?
Correct.
And then natural to weather for the doors. Okay, does everybody understand that?
So both sets of doors?
Both doors are natural to weather. The trim is white, the shutters are white, the pent roof goes.
And the pedestrian door is white with a panel below the 9 lights.
That's right.
Also true.
Mhm.
That's your motion, Angus?
That's my motion.
Okay, thank you. Connie,
I.
Val?
I'm not on it.
Again, oh, she's still not on it. Okay, Joe,
Aye.
Angus.
Aye.
And you said I, and I'm an I.
And I'm an I, Carrie.
And Carrie,
Thank you very much. And that's an exhibit A through staff.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
before you go to the next one, there's a person with their hand raised, Stephen Murphy. Let's see. Would you like me to unmute him?
I think he was at the planning board as well. It might be a neighbor.
Okay. Stephen, go ahead and talk.
Madam Chair, just a couple of points. First of all, based on the agenda, it looked like the board was, the commission was concerned about the height of the structure, and I don't see any reduction in the height. It was 22 before, now it's 22 now. Also,
22,
yes,
22 feet.
22 feet. That's, I guess my question is whether the commission has decided that that's consistent with the local architectural vernacular, and whether it's compatible with the old Nantucket context. I've spent 45 years, a little bit of time, sometimes ranging as much as a couple of months there. And it's very inconsistent with the old Nantucket vernacular as far as I'm concerned. The house across the street is a single-story house with very little verticality to it. This 22-foot garage will loom over Old Nantucket, and I think it is distinctly not compatible with the old Nantucket context. And then lastly, given that the storage of the boat and fuel is there, this may not be germane for the commission, but I'm just wondering if there's any provision for drainage or sewer connections for any kind of spillage situation. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Sorry. Thank you, Stephen. 24 feet in Nantucket is permissible, and this one's 22. So I think we're within that realm, but thank you for your thoughts.
So Madam Chair, it's 32 Hulbert's the next one.
Do you want me to read you back my list? All white trim except for natural weather vertical boards at the garage doors. Add panel to the small garage door, I think, or maybe he was talking about, and I think Carrie confirmed that, the 9-light door to the right. Yep, white shutters. And then I think that, and the door itself is white, the pedestrian door. Yeah, yeah. White as well. Yeah.
So really all we have is the garage doors, both are natural to weather and no pent roof.
Yep, great. No pent roof as well. Yep. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, Tori. Sorry.
You're fine. Ready for me?
Yes,
Okay. Can I just confirm board since we have?
sure. Who do you, I have Val, Angus, Connie, and Joe, and Carrie,
Great.
and
you?
myself.
I think that's one. Oh, no, then you. Great. And no, Carrie, that might be one too many.
Let's see.
No, she was just saying the
One.
alternate is Carrie.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
Everybody's here.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I will begin. So the landscape designer has come up with, I believe
Hey.
we have 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to.
I just unmuted.
Has come up with 8 different options trying to Photoshop kind of what that might look like. If we want to look at the site plan for a minute. We're talking about 3 as-built arbors that are located on this site plan. And due to the precedent of the Belgian block border at the bottom of Privet as we're proposing throughout the community in that neighborhood. And I've tried to include as many of those photos again and just those photos instead of the arbor photos, just to remind you that there is quite a bit of precedent both across the street and around the back of this particular property in general, if you are so inclined to consider that as well. So with the arbors, the landscape designer has proposed and photoshopped 8 different options. We can go through them one by one if you like, if we want to go to the photos. Okay. So this option is to cut the curved beams, which would be the arched point that comes towards the driveway, and remove the lattice on the circle altogether. At the prior meeting, Val and Connie had recommended supporting maybe removing the lattice work and simplifying the upper portion. And Connie had also mentioned that the granite border might be acceptable, but the arbor was over elaborate. Joe had agreed to the circular geometry, and it made the structure feel out of place. So we can just go through these options now. So that's option 1.
Tori, could
Yeah.
you, on option 2, could you just, when you're showing us the arbors, could you remind us where they are? Like this is inside the driveway?
This
Or
is
is
the
this-
only one that's visible from the road, in my opinion, but I do know people have gone by. We're happy to add vegetation if we need to. I think the only other one that would be visible is the one from Halbert Avenue to the left of the house, which is in kind of an alleyway.
Yeah, just when you're going through them, just say this one's on Halbert Avenue.
This faces
one's-
Willard Street.
This one chase.
The driveway's off of Willard Street.
Okay.
These are just examples of what they want to change all 3 of them to. They're all in the same spot.
Oh,
No, there's 3 different locations if you look at the site plan.
I understand
Oh,
that,
okay.
but what you're showing us is all the same gate with choices.
Correct.
for all 3.
Whatever
Right.
you prefer. Yep.
Okay.
We
so-
originally spoke that this was the only one that was visible, but it sounds like not everyone agrees with that.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
All right.
So this one proposes cutting the curved beams again, making them straight to simplify things, filling in the lattice to match the bottom half of the gate with wood. This one arches the top of the gate to match the curve of the door to below. Yeah, I'm sure it is. And we can provide better, like, more design detail if you need to, depending on where we head. So this is removing the lattice and arching the top. This is cut off the top portion completely, the pergola style, and just keep the simplified gate. I have to zoom out a little bit. This would be to make a rectangular door, get rid of the gate itself and create a new vertical board door and keep the top. This would remove the curved point from the pergola top and keep the straight vertical board on the door. I think that might be all of them, unless there's one more.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Tori. Those are a lot of options. All right, so let's see what the board thinks.
Abby, it's Mickey.
Oh, Mickey, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is Mickey Rowland on the Historic Structures Advisory Group, along with Jason Finger, Mary Bergman, and Marcia Fader. So, we still think, first of all, that the Belgian block border is too formal for that area on Holbert Avenue, for that neighborhood, and it doesn't belong there. For the arbor itself, there's really 2 elements to look at in the arbor. One is the top of the arbor, where all the decorative cross boards and structure are. That's as it's built, it's just too heavy. If those boards were reduced in their size and simplified in the cuts and the detail, they might be acceptable. But generally most arbors in that area are probably curved top structures with a gate. And the gate is the other feature. Hardly any gates. I can't actually picture any gates in that area that have a top to them. Most, if not all gates, have just the bottom section. No upper arched, curved, or circular section to the top of the gate. So that should be eliminated entirely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. Who dares go?
I'm happy to start.
Sure.
So, just as far as what's visible, I've looked at the one on the east side of the house from Holbert Avenue. I can see that clearly, and that's with the bushes. I mean, this time of year, it's probably more visible than when I saw it, and definitely the one from Willard. So, the single one, sort of at the back of the house on the south side, is probably the only one that is marginally visible. Um, but as Mickey pointed out, it's quite common to have an arched arbor in hedges. That happens a lot, but there aren't generally these a flat topped beam with secondary members coming out from it as a gate. Normally, that's something that is in the yard somewhere or attached to the house. Um, and as far as the gate itself, they're straight across. There's like a gentle swoop, but the whole sort of circular, straight up circular um, design isn't something that is um, usually seen. So I think what needs to happen is just simplification of elimination of the arbor, or put the more typical arched arbor. That's a very simple frame with the lattice on the sides of it, and either a straight or a swooped gate with it. But there are 8 options, but they all sort of incorporate some sort of element of what's already existing of the arbor and or the circular design of the gate. And so I would say none of those are appropriate. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. All right, well, let's try somebody else then.
I could go. This is Joe speaking.
Thank you, Joe. Go ahead.
Option 4 is the most appropriate, in my opinion, of the options listed, because it eliminates the tension between the gate and the arbor itself. So it's an arch top. It's an arch top feature, which, as discussed, is pretty common here. And I think if the circular element was just a half circle with no lattice, you probably would have an approval. I do think that having it's a gate, but having a look through makes some sense. The ones where this whole door is opaque, I don't think they would gain any traction at all, regardless of the arbor being flat or curved. So of the 8 options, I think 4 is appropriate. I think it's in the spirit of what's in that area, and the lattice is a unique element, but I think it becomes a little bit more of an adornment once you modify the pergola element. So I'd be okay with option 4. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Just to be clear, there would be an added arch over the circle and no trellis, no members coming forward.
Yeah, well, usually, because this looks like it has 4 posts, there's an arch in the front and in the back, and there'd be thin purlins that might connect them that are like 1.5 inch square that join the 2 arch elements together typically. But
Okay,
I hadn't thought that far into it. But this one, I could see that elevation being unique, but not completely inventive for that area.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Connie?
Go ahead, Val, you want to go?
Yeah.
I was along with Joe and then I got lost. I agree, option 4 is the best, but I was thinking, you were saying at the beginning, and what I was thinking is to cut that gate, like the third horizontal member up and take the lattice out completely so that it's just a curved gate, a curved arbor, whether or not, with the purlins on the side, and
Yeah.
that's not what you were saying though, right?
I was saying that if that's what was presented, my guess is it probably would have been approved at the first meeting because it's such a common element. And so I did say that if it was that, I don't even think we would be having a discussion about it. It's the full circle and the lattice and the trellis that complicates it. But I think with the curve, this full circle might be palatable. So I would definitely support the change that you described, Val, because I think it's the least, or it's the most appropriate, I should say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so is it down to me?
Oh, me? Yeah.
Oh, yes, Connie,
Yeah,
please.
so that's what I was gonna suggest is option 4, but take out the lattice in the circle and just have the curved bottom gate, I think would be appropriate.
Okay, so it
Thank you.
sounds like we're having some consensus. I don't really mind the ones that are inside the driveway. The only one I'm concerned about is the one on Hulbert, which I think we could go with the really reduced look of the option 8, just to keep that really simple on Hulbert. And if you want to get more fanciful in your own driveway, you could. But
the driveway is the most visible.
Yeah, I,
The driveway in the east are the visible.
right.
one in the back
Yeah,
is the
I'm
rear.
not taking offense to these, but it sounds like the majority are in favor of a modified option 4. Would Val, would you be able to do an exhibit A?
I could, yes.
Okay,
Madam Chair,
okay.
I just wanted to confirm
Yeah.
that I understood Joe's comments the way Val understood them. Arch top, no lattice, the curve in the gate, and clear, straightforward. With the smaller, like he said, 1.5 square purlins connecting
side.
the two
You
sides of
know,
the
like-
arch. Yep,
yeah.
that's what I understood too. We're happy to do that.
Okay.
Can I
I
clarify
guess-
one
Would
thing?
that be option 5? Is that? Can we look at option 5? Sorry. No, never mind. Oh, yeah.
You're actually
Oh, yeah,
right.
it's close, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was keeping the whole circle underneath, which I think you guys were all speaking about, just having the half circle at the top of the gate and then the circle of the arch itself, or correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so it doesn't become an arbor, it's just more of a gate with curved.
With a curved top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the, well, no, the curve on.
And the curve on top.
Right.
Can I just clarify what Val, I'm assuming Val, you're gonna do an exhibit A and a motion. I just wanted to clarify, this is an arch top arbor that's has 3 dimensions, so it's connected with purlins to the frame behind it. And within it, I think you said like the third horizontal as you're looking in the option number 4, that just comes straight across and cuts, that's the top of the gate. And there's just a lower swoop to the gate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
It could even be the second one up.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, so there's enough frame to hold the top together.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, not to overdo this, but Val, if you could make a motion to that effect and then the exhibit A. I'd
Madam Chair.
appreciate it. Oh,
Could I-
yes.
Sorry, could I just point out the Belgian block border photographs in the
Oh,
neighborhood?
right, but so.
Which is also part of the application.
Could we also vote on the Belgian block? We'll do a lightning round. Connie,
I'm okay with it.
you, what?
I'm okay with the Belgian.
You're
block.
okay with Val?
I am because of the precedents in the area.
Angus,
My issue is this, that the precedence, and this would contribute to it, is going to proliferate more, and it's just a formal detail that wasn't originally part of the character of that neighborhood. So I feel like the more we have, the more we'll get, and so I'm against it.
and Joe?
Angus you always make me pause. I think you're right. I think you're right 100%. I'm okay with this, and I think you definitely raise my attention to that issue in the area, but I'm okay with it on this.
Okay,
Thank
it
you.
looks like, and I would be against the Belgian block as per Angus with the precedent, so it would be 3-2. Could you, you were for the Belgian block?
Yeah, I
Oh, okay.
don't think it's inappropriate given what's there, but I also don't agree with Angus. You give somebody an inch, they take a mile, but it's there, so.
Okay,
it
let's take
exists.
let's take the Belgian block separately then. Or how can we do that? It's
I don't
on
know
the-
if it's part of
it's
the
on the-
application. I think we have to.
Unless we eliminate it completely and then if she has to come back.
Yeah, she didn't want to do that. All right, well, my main concern is the gate. Let's just try your motion.
Okay. Motion to approve with an Exhibit A modifying option number 4 to be a typical curved arbor held together with purlins that are typical on the sides, and the gate to be, the circle to be cut down to a gate leaving the bottom swoop for Exhibit A.
And can you say
Uh,
where on that lattice in relation, where it would be cut?
I had originally said the third member, but
I
I'm
think that's-
thinking the second. No? Right here?
I'll second that motion with the confirming that it's the second horizontal.
Okay. And you're in favor of the Belgian block, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So on does everybody understand the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Connie,
Yes,
Joe,
Aye.
Angus.
Aye.
And Val on your motion,
I.
and I'm a no. So that
Okay.
passes.
Thank you very much. And happy holidays and break to all of
Happy
you.
you
holidays.
too. Thank you.
It's funny because the straight on pictures of the gate look significantly different from the angled, which looks more oval.
Right.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, through you to Michelle, who's for 8
Oh, yeah.
Macy Road. Just so you know, Ray and Stephen are not here, so you have a 3, well, no, is Carrie still here? Yeah, Carrie is still here. Yes. You have a
Yeah, you've got,
4-person board, so are you okay with that?
So who is that?
so you've got myself, Angus, Connie, Carrie, and Joe.
You have a 5-person board, it's just so you don't have Stephen and the pizza just arrived too. Madam
Okay.
Chair, the pizza just arrived as well.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you've got a full board. It's-
Okay.
You
I'm
just don't
fine.
have Ray and Steven,
Okay.
but it's up to you. Okay. All right.
Fine. Michelle Cole for the record.
All right. Are you not on there?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not on any more of them. so
Oh,
I
okay.
believe.
All right, so hold on. Go ahead, Michelle.
So I'm representing 8 Macy Hardscape, and I think the discussion last time was the location of the pickleball court. And I've relocated this to the far rear of the site. and it's roughly about 4-foot grade change from the street level. So it'll be lower and is pretty much concealed by the house with all the existing vegetation around the property. I know there was some discussion about the gates last time. The gates are salvage gates, and I didn't note that they would be painted gray, not as they're shown in white. I do need to completely fence the property. I did show an alternate gate. It's a possibility, but I'd love to be able to use these salvage gates, particularly the double gate.
So question, you have 3 or 4 different gates up there. Which one were you proposing?
The salvage ones are the first 2, the E gate and the F gate, the
Okay.
left and right.
Okay.
And the E gate would be at the driveway in, and the other gate would be at the rear of the property, totally invisible.
Okay, could we leave it right on the site plan? Does everybody understand where the gates are? Oh,
No, I'm trying to make sure that I know where they are. So the E gate is at the driveway. And
Right.
then
And the F gate is
F gate
actually
is
also
on the road.
right. But that could also just be the alternate gate. And the F gate could locate to the rear, either or.
Sorry, my thing just scratched. So,
Mine never know.
so there's a gate here.
Right.
And there's a gate
Up at
way up there.
the
at the driveway.
steps, at the stepping stones.
Okay. All right, so there's a gate right off Macy Lane and then at the back of the property. For those that can't see it.
Through the chair, I have a question for Michelle.
Go ahead, Angus.
Oh, just the alternate F gate. It's hard to really make that out. Is that just a natural to weather frame with wire on it? And how tall is it?
The alternate gate, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it would be the gate height of the split rail, which I think is roughly 3 feet.
Okay.
Roughly. It would line up with the split rail.
And is that just graininess in the photo, or is there wire on that?
There will have to be wire in the back. This to contain pets.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a general question as well. When you say split rail fence, is that around the whole perimeter?
Yes.
With wire or just split rail?
With turkey wire at the lower half of it.
Turkey
Contain
wire.
the pet. There was remains of an existing split rail along the front.
Okay, so the entire property is split rail fence with turkey wire and one of these salvaged gates. Okay. All right, let's go to the board. All right, anybody ready to comment on this?
I'll go.
Oh, thanks, Carrie.
Sure. I don't think any of these gates are appropriate out there. I think the split rail fence is appropriate as long as it's not directly on the property line. I think the only gate that is appropriate is the one that you can't see, which is gate F on the, what is it, the southeast corner of the property. The pickleball court, I can't even imagine not being able to see it because I think the vegetation here is not hardy enough to hide it. And that's one of the reasons why I think the gates are just not appropriate. They are fanciful, in town, painted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the F gate is the only one that I think is appropriate.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Carrie.
I have a
Angus?
question for the applicant.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Abby.
Go ahead, Joe, and you can continue too.
Yeah, we hadn't talked too much about the pickleball court, so I have a question about the fence. Well, is there a fence around the pickleball court as depicted in picture C?
There wouldn't be a need for a fence around it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's good.
You can continue, Joe, if you want, unless you want to hear others talk first.
Oh, sure, I'll go. Well, I'm on the same page as Carrie. I regarding the rural nature of this property and having two gates on the street and close proximity to one another is troubling to me. I'm assuming that there are two curb cuts that are approved and already two means of access, but that would be unusual. And the position of gate A, I was questioning because it's parallel to the road, but it seems like it would be orthogonal to the driveway and potentially set back off the road so that you come through that gate and then curve onto the road. So I think having one gate on Macy Road, and I think it's it's the alternate gate. That's what we see in rural areas. I think that's what the town just built actually at that park by the Rotary. I mean, I think in the interest of recycling, if gate F was one of the salvaged gates and it's painted gray, as Michelle described, then I think it's not visible and we're getting to use, or something's not going to the dump. But I think either of those are too formal for the street. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Let's see, who else do we have here? Yep, Connie.
So through you, Madam Chair, I'm confused. I thought there was a gate there and a gate there.
That's what I thought as well. Are there two gates or are there three?
There
But I
are
do see an
three
F there.
gates because
Oh.
you have the driveway to the garage
Okay.
entry.
Yeah.
And you have the 12-foot gate to the parking area, which all those gates can be set back behind the tree line there. And I just want to make out there are no curb cuts there at all. This is all sand, the road itself. And
There, and then up on top, the other F, yep. And then there, yep.
but I would be hard pressed to know how to actually completely fence the property for that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, you might not be able to. I have a question though, Abby, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
The pickleball court, the northwest corner is at 14 feet elevation and the southeast corner is at 11, and you're not showing any retaining walls. So right there, I think we need more information for the pickleball court, and just also for the gates and the fences to bring them off the property line.
The slope is gradual slope and I don't see any need for retaining walls at all.
Well, a pickleball court is flat, correct?
Correct.
So if you look at the site plan, the northwest corner, the elevation is 14 feet. And at the southeast corner, it's 11 feet. So I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah,
Gradual
but then you
slope.
need a retaining wall.
You're gonna need a
Pick the
retaining
medium
corner.
grade, pick the medium grade of 13 and gradual slope on both sides.
Okay, so,
Doesn't work.
let's see, I think we've heard from everybody but myself. I can't imagine a pickleball court out there. I'm fine with the split rail fencing. But I agree that maybe just one gate on Macy Road of a very simple natural to weather gate would be all right. But I am concerned about the grade change. Even though I'm not in favor of a pickleball court, I'd kind of like to figure out how that would actually work.
Madam Chair.
Because the other thing about this whole project is that it's very open, and screening and any kind of trees are going to end up looking pretty windblown. So I can't really imagine how that would be screened.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Angus has his hand up.
Oh, thank you. Angus?
Oh, I just wanted to comment when you were finished.
Yeah, I'm done.
So yeah, my concern with the pickleball court is that none of it should be raised above grade, which means that it would need to be level at a minimum of grade 11. Normally, we sort of sink them down like halfway because they have usually an 8-foot fence around them, so they go down 4 feet, and then there's only 4 feet sticking up out of the ground. I'm happy to hear that there won't be a fence with this, but it would need to start at elevation 11 and level across from there. I um, I I appreciate the salvage material, and if it were a Nantucket gray or a Quaker gray, one of those darker grays, I think the salvaged F fence could work on the bordering the Conservation Land Trust land. I do think that 3 gates along Macy Road is busy. Um, that should be simplified somehow. And I agree about the uh, E alternate fence or F alternate fence being um, more appropriate than like a board fence or a more formal fence out there. And anything would need to be natural to weather. And I'm fine with the split rail fence as long as it's not on the property line, as long as it's set back 5 feet or so. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to hold for revisions or anything else?
Motion to hold for revisions, and that's it. Thanks.
More information about, okay.
Yeah. More information for the pickleball court, etc.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. On Carrie's motion, Angus,
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
Joe Paul,
Aye.
and myself, and it is an aye. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you.
I'm an aye.
And you're an aye.
Thank you.
And now we're going to take a break.
Yeah, and how long did you want to take a break for, Madam Chair? How long? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour? Couple?
17 minutes.
Okay, all right.
I am not.
You okay? All right. Okay, Madam Chair, Uri, did you want to screen share? Uri?
Yeah.
Did you
Hello,
want to-
can you hear
did you
me?
want to- Did you want to screen share?
I was actually wondering, looks like I only have 3% board, right?
Right, yeah, Stephen was supposed to be here, but he's not
Yeah.
right now, so,
So
yeah, you have Abby, Angus,
yeah,
Connie.
it's not ideal. Was I don't think it will be good idea to go with 3% board if that's possible.
Okay.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Okay, so you would like to hold till the next old
Okay, can we,
business?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I will need to discuss this, but with 3%, I don't think it's a good idea.
okay, we won't open it up, so we can just skip right over it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Uri.
And then what about
Yeah.
Matt?
What can we do, right?
Matt just said Merry Christmas,
Right.
so actually, do I hear is anybody here?
Don't see anybody.
Do I hear, do we have any minutes?
You do, December 2nd.
December 2nd.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 2nd meeting minutes as written.
Thank you, Angus. On your motion.
Aye.
And Connie,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Carrie?
Did Carrie leave?
Carrie might be gone. I'm an aye.
Yeah, Carrie's still here. She's probably just.
And do I hear a motion to adjourn for 2025?
Wow. Yeah, sure.
All right. Thanks, Angus. On your motion.
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
I'm an aye. And if Carrie, if you're still there, you want to chime in on the last one of 2025?
She's here, but she's not.
She's
unmuted.
gone.
Yeah.
All right. We're done.
You guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. See everybody next year.
Yeah, see you next. Yeah, see you next year. Okay. Good night and good luck.